is to do an interesting second verse. I think one of the biggest struggles that songwriters trying to compose within the more contemporary structure of songwriting, we always worry about the chorus, because the chorus has to be amazing and catchy and whatever. For those of us who still worry about intros or pre-chorus or even bridges, sure, you always want to make those interesting and not leave the listener just wanting to move on to another song or to just move forward within the song. And of course you have the verse section, which to do one verse is kind of easy, but when it comes to the second verse, you don't just want to repeat whatever you've done in the first verse, because otherwise it's just kind of boring. And I don't even mean boring like a modern day-to-day brain rot addiction way. I mean boring as in, if you're just going to repeat the same thing with just different lyrics, then what is really the point of it? You should try and make it interesting, especially if you're like me and you're composing instrumentally, so there's not even a different lyric for you to focus on. When it comes to guitar-based music, kind of easy to just do a verse and have a little melody for you to focus the listener on. And when you get to the second verse, you just do the melody bit for a little bit, and then you kind of just solo over those chords. But I kind of don't want to do that, at least like all the time, because on one hand I would just be repeating myself and I don't really like that. And like I mentioned before, I don't want things to just be boring. So I usually try to do something different with my verses, especially when I get to the second or third verse, and I've done other videos about it explaining my process to do it. But I think these are probably the best verse melodies that I've ever done. And they're on my latest release song, I'll Meet You at the Top of the World, which if you haven't, you can ensure to go check out anywhere to listen to your music at. Again, not trying to just lead you on to watching some of my other videos, but I've talked about how I got to all these different sections of the song in a different video. But when it comes to the first verse, I had these chords, and they're actually over like a 5/8 pattern, and it's actually a pretty fast section. So I wanted to have a melody that would be somewhat repetitive, so the listener could really glue themselves into it. And I also wanted it to be a melody that I could also use in other sections as well. Here's the little clip of the first verse. In case you didn't notice it, it's a little bit polyrhythmical, which could be confusing, but I think sounds cool. But then when it came to the second verse, I was again thinking to myself, what am I going to do? What should I do with it? What if I just forget about the chords and I just take the melody and I just try to find a way to progress with it, instead of just keeping it repetitive all the way through, because we already repeated it in the other verse and we already started with it for the second verse. I kind of just have to figure out a way to expand on it, but having it still be something that connects with people. So I tried to connect with myself. I recorded the melody, then would listen to it and try to either sing something afterwards or audiate something. I wouldn't say necessarily like a call and response thing, but it wouldn't be too far off from it. And not really worry about scales or chords or arpeggios or even time signatures, just go with whatever the inner me felt. And I actually ended up with this that has some very interesting melody structures. It has a key change or two in there, some interesting chords to accompany it, which I then took the melody and grabbed some chords that I thought would sound cool and match the vibe of it and just added them underneath with the same pattern over it. And maybe it's just me because, you know, I'm biased, but I think that for a section that could just be very chaotic with everything going on, the melody itself that acts as a through line throughout the entire section, to me ended up feeling as something that was very beautiful, super epic, very melodic, and not trying to be a narcissist, but every time I showed it to someone, they were all like, damn, that melody really touched me. It really is a cool part. So let me know what you think. Do you have a specific way you do your second verses? Let me know. While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on all the notifications, follow and stay tuned for more, because I'm releasing new songs every week and I'm releasing new videos every day, twice a day. If you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll like the other ones too. And while you're at it, perhaps even share it with a friend who might also enjoy them. In case it wasn't obvious already, go check out my latest released song, I'll Meet You at the Top of the World, anywhere you listen to your music at. And I want to once again take the time to thank you guys so much for all the support in these songs and videos. I can only thank you guys so much, but it really means a lot and it really makes a difference. I can only hope to see you in another video, but until then, cheers!